Most people wait until they're successful to share their journey, but by then it's too late. They've missed all of the connections, the life lessons, the opportunities that come from documenting in real time. In fact, I've been following along with a lot of famous creators, and one of the biggest regrets many of them have was the fact that they didn't start documenting their journey from the very beginning. So I have been documenting my journey on this channel for over a year, and I've seen firsthand how powerful this process is. From unexpected opportunities to deeper connections, good networking, and faster growth, these are all some of the lessons that I've learned that I want to share with you today. And this is why you need to start documenting your journey today. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Aside a Hustle. The goal of this channel is to move 10,000 people from stupid broke to self-defined millionaires, from poor in every area of your life to rich in every area of your life. My name is Craig, and I'm going to be your tour guide this morning. We're going to talk about 11 reasons, and then I'm going to give you the bonus benefit that you get from all of this. So 11 reasons that you need to be documenting your journey today. Now, this could, first of all, just to lay out the overall, this could be on YouTube. That's where I'm documenting, but it could be as simple as just documenting through Facebook posts or through Instagram or even through TikTok. You could do it. But the point is to document your journey so you can see a bunch of things. And so I'm going to give you some of the benefits that we have. We'll take any questions as you go along. If you have a really good comment, we'll even post it on the screen. Since Kevin's the first one in here, I'll post his good morning comment on the screen so you guys can see that. So good morning to you, Kevin. Glad that you are here today. All right, we're going to dive right in. We're going to break this into 4 categories. And if you're familiar with this channel, you'll know what these 4 categories are as we go through them. And for those of you that are not, you're going to learn the framework that I like to filter everything in my life through. So first of all, under the category of serving, impacting other people through your story. It's going to be the first area that we're going to talk about. So under serving, there's 4 things that we're going to talk about today. First of all, you create a roadmap for other people. Your journey provides a step-by-step guide for others that can follow, helping them avoid the pitfalls that you faced and move forward faster. Now, you might say, well, what's the big deal with this? Like, why should I care? Well, first of all, you don't have to care about other people, right? That's a choice that you have in life. But on this channel, we're all about serving other people and bringing and helping as many people go along with you as much as possible. And maybe that roadmap will actually benefit someone that you know. It might benefit a friend or a family member or somebody else either going through the same stuff you are now or also just kind of being there in the future for someone else that maybe you care about. And you can always point back and say, hey, guess what? I was in that situation before, and I kind of documented all of that within that. Okay, so that's the first thing. Create a roadmap for others. And let me, let me do it this way. Create a roadmap for others. That's number 1. Okay, so you want to create a roadmap for others so that way they can see everything that you have been going through, everything that will help you out. Okay, number 2 is going to be, there we go. That was number 1. Create a roadmap for others. Number 2 is going to be you're going to inspire others to start. Okay, you want to inspire others to start. A lot of people get stuck really at the very beginning, right? Imagine like if life is a race and then the gun goes off, but you're afraid to get out of the starting blocks. That's what a lot of people are. And a lot of people are going to be afraid. So like, for example, I'm dealing with helping people get out of debt, right? And so there's a lot of people who are scared. They're afraid of not knowing what the process is to get out of debt. And so they maybe feel stuck. They maybe feel discouraged. by you showing your progress and showing it in as close to real time as possible, that gives other people the motivation and the confidence to take action. Now, maybe the action will be inspiring them to also document their journey. But even if they're not in the position to document their journey, by you documenting your journey, you're going to give this inspiration for other people who are watching you who might say, well, I'm not quite sure what I should be doing, but I'm going to follow along here, and I'm going to be able to take some inspiration from someone else who is doing it and who's being bold enough and brave enough to be saying like, yeah, I do realize that this does take some courage, but if someone else is doing it, then I can do it. Okay, now here's the other thing. There might be people who have started, but they're not seeing the progress they want, so they're getting discouraged. So this is benefit number 3. You help others who are discouraged. You can help others who are discouraged. So maybe these are people who have gotten started, but they hit a roadblock, right? They hit the boss in life and they don't know exactly what they're doing. And so you can then instead start to say, like, hey, this is my struggle. This is my comeback. This is where I got stuck, but this is how I got out of being stuck. And so I've done that a lot throughout this journey, and I'm actually planning on doing it more, because at first I was kind of scared, but the more I've done it, I realize how freeing it is, because then other people come alongside and say, yeah, I've been stuck there too. I understand it and I appreciate it. And so as you do this, you start to not only encourage yourself when you get discouraged, but you're really helping other people who are discouraged. And it reminds people that it's not always going to be progress forward right from the start, that there's going to be times where you're going to be stuck, or you're going to have setbacks, or you're going to have mistakes, you're going to have mess ups. And so the more that you're willing to do this documentation of your journey, the more people you're going to be able to help who are going to be discouraged, but then start to see and realize, okay, yeah, for sure, this is something that I can do. All right, number 4 is this. You're going to leave a legacy for your kids, for your family, for your friends, and technically, like we were already talking about, leaving a roadmap for other people, maybe even people you don't know. But this really gets to the heart of creating a legacy for other people who are coming behind you. Long after you're gone, or long after maybe some of these struggles are forgotten, your journey will be out there and it will continue to teach other people, inspire, and impact future generations. And so someday you may be forgotten, but your wisdom maybe will not be forgotten. And even if it just turns into your wisdom is going to be repurposed by some other creator down the road, you will always have this, and your family will always be able to look back and say, oh, wow, like I didn't realize what they were going through then, but because they were willing to document it, it's like now I know. And now when they're feeling down or discouraged, or they face some of the same struggles in life that you have faced, because guess what? That's the reality of life, that there are always going to be struggles and things that are coming from around the corner. They can say, wow, they made it through it, and I can draw on that strength. And so maybe 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years from now, your great great grandkids will see this and be like, wow, my great great grandpa, my great great grandma, she went through this and she was able to make it through, and they can draw some inspiration. Who knows what impact you documenting your journey today is going to have for other people as you go down the road. All right, number 5, and this is going to move into our new area of learning. This is about developing skills and gaining insight. Okay, so developing skills and gaining insight, this is the area of learning. So the first 4 were all about serving other people. Now this is about kind of your personal growth. So the first benefit that you get, that you're going to learn by doing this, is you're going to get faster feedback and avoid getting off course. Okay, when you document people publicly, people give you advice, they give you encouragement, they give you constructive criticism, and they help you improve faster. One of the best things that I can tell you that happens is, if you thoroughly, genuinely believe something and you throw it out here into this world of being open and honest, sometimes your ideas are going to come back and people are going to be like, wow, that's really helpful. I really appreciate that. And sometimes people are going to come back and say, well, yeah, I tried that, but here, let me tell you something that's even bigger or even better than that. And so when you start sharing your journey with other people, the benefit of you serving other people is that other people will also, whether they realize it or not, they're going to serve you in your journey. And so if you can get your feedback loop going faster, and you can learn faster, and you can make your mistakes faster, then by doing all of that, as you document everything publicly, people are going to give you that advice, give you that encouragement, that constructive criticism, and everything that goes along with it. All right, let's see. We're going to do a couple more here, and then we'll take just a little break to catch a breather. All right, so we're talking about then things that you learn. So what else can you learn as you are doing this process of documenting your journey, well, the next thing that you can learn, you track your own progress and you create a personal reference manual. Because as much as we would like to think like, okay, once I overcome this, I'm never going to have to face it again. The reality is that sometimes we're going to backtrack or we're going to backslide and we're going to realize like, oh man, I've gone backwards from where I wanted to be to where I actually am. And you're like, oh, well, now how do I get back to where I once was? Now you have that. And so you can always go back and you can be like, okay, all of a sudden now I've got this plan and I've got this thing that I can do. And you can go back to where you have previously gotten stuck and realize, okay, the last time I got stuck here, this was the process that I used to get out of it. Now that I'm stuck here again, I've got my own personal reference manual. And of course, in addition to all this, you get to track your progress. You really get to hop in and say, okay, now I can see, because you can literally go back. And I've done this before. I've gone back to some of my old videos and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm probably someday going to go back to this video. I'm going to be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did this. But why? Because I'm constantly getting better. And I don't look back at those old videos as regrets. I instead look at those old videos as, wow, look at how far I've come. But then look at, sometimes you can go back and say, well, yeah, but I have come really far. But there are still a couple things I used to do that I don't do anymore that maybe I need to get back to. And you've kind of just built this whole personal reference manual, and you're tracking your progress as you go. All right. So the last thing we can learn, we'll take a little breather break here in just a second, is you will start to build authority and build credibility. Now, I realize some of you don't necessarily care about this, but I want you to think about this as a long-term investment of you building authority and building credibility. Because what makes an expert? Well, there's a variety of different things, and you can watch videos on it. But one of the most important things that makes you an expert in any area is the fact that your ideas are tested, tried, and true over a long period of time. And when you start, you might not necessarily have 700,000 people watching every one of your streams or anything like that. But as you go out there, first of all, as you bring your ideas into the world, it's going to allow you to grow, but it's also going to force you to keep stepping things up where you're going to be like, you know what? I need to get better with this. I do need to get better with my camera presence. I do need to get better with my delivery. I do need to figure out how to integrate my viewers' comments as I'm talking in a live stream. I've got to figure out how to interact with people better in a virtual environment. I've got to figure out how to interact with people better in the real world environment, no matter what it is. And then also, as you build this catalog of all these things that you've gone through, it's a lot harder for people to say, well, this didn't work for you. Prove this, prove that you were really like that. You can say, well, yeah, here it is. Here's everything. This is my full resume from start to finish and my whole process of this journey of whatever it is. And so by sharing your journey consistently, people start recognizing you as a reliable source of knowledge, even while you're still learning. And again, you don't have to be perfect in any of these areas. And in fact, sometimes the most authentic way to connect with your audience is to admit your imperfections. And so I've never shied away from the fact that, yeah, look, I don't have all the greatest technology. I don't have any extra money right now to get fancy little microphones and all different things like that. And of course, I'll take advantage of opportunities as I have them. But right now, we're just working with the technology that I happen to have because I'm in debt. I'm trying to work my way out of debt. But what good is it to someone to say, well, yeah, this is what I did to get out of debt? But it's easy to look back and say, well, yeah, that's how I did all of that. But by documenting every step of the way, you can say, okay, these are the steps that I've taken, and you can see them in real time. And then you can see my growth in real time. And it's one of the best things. And one of my favorite things to do is to go on big YouTube creators who have like 1 million+ followers, and just go back and watch some of their old stuff. And you realize, wow, you know what? They were nothing special at the beginning. They just were willing to put themselves out into the world, document it, and have everything go along the lines of what they wanted it to be. And then now everybody looks at them and they're well known and they're famous and they're popular and all of those things. But when they started, that's not where it was. And so because they have done that, they've really made this something that they can become because they're willing to put themselves out. All right. So with that, we're going to take a little break. We always like to just share, what are you drinking this morning? This morning, I've got carbonated water infused with some raspberry jam. It's actually kind of fun. So let me know what you are drinking today. And today is not officially a sponsored video, but I did just create a brand new guide and it's a PDF and it's available for download. The link is also in the description below, but I'll put it up on the screen for you. It's a step-by-step guide to making an extra $200 per week, just to help expand your income, help get you out of any sort of financial difficulties, maybe give you the inspiration to get going with whatever sort of side hustles that you want. I've been doing all sorts and forms of side hustles really for the last 10 years. And so I wanted to boil it down to something that's really simple. It is $5 now, but this is just the first copy. So it's going to be the cheapest it'll ever be, because we're going to keep expanding it, making it better. We're going to take whatever feedback that we get from you guys to make it better, make sure it's even better. We have started to see sales come in on this. And so I'm just going to let you know, once we get a handful of copies sold and we get some feedback, we're going to make it better, and the price is going up. So this is the cheapest that it's ever going to be. So make sure if you get a chance, hop on it now. It's $5 that you can turn into $200 very quickly. And I just encourage you to do that, and looking forward to it. Of course, we have pretty much all that information is free somewhere on the channel, but it's going to just take you a lot of time to find all of it. So I wanted to boil it down and put it in a simple document that would get you started on that. All right, so we're going to hop back in. We've got 2 more areas. The next area that we're going to talk about is the area of growing. This is now learning is about building skills, but growing is about internal transformation. Okay, so there are 2 ways that we're going to talk about here, or 2 benefits for internal transformation. First of all, you're going to find fellowship on the journey. Now, when you put your journey out there, you're going to end up to find other people around you that share your values and share your goals. Now, how does that have to do with your personal internal transformation? Well, it's very simple, because all the stats say that you become like the people that you hang around. And so if you want to grow, you need to find like-minded people who also want to grow in the same areas. One of the most documented YouTubers out there is Mr. Beast. And when he first started his journey, he spent time collaborating with other creators every single day. Sometimes they'd spend 15, 18 hours a day studying YouTube, studying the YouTube algorithm, trying to figure out what exactly makes it work, until they were able to get it and hit it big. And so that's what you do by finding fellowship on the journey. You're going to get growth, because you're going to find people, and you're going to find people who are maybe a step ahead of you in certain areas. And it's going to cause you to have to step up your game, and it's going to cause them to step up their game. Everyone is going to get better. Okay, so you're going to find fellowship along the way, which is going to really help with making you become the person that you're wanting to become. And how do you define that? How do you find the people that you're going to want to bring around you? Well, it's very simple. You're just going to have to put yourself out there, put your vibe out there, continue to build your framework of who you want to be and what you're all about, and do that. All right, the next area about internal transformation that this provides by doing this is accountability. Okay, it helps you stay committed, but it also helps you prove that you truly are what you say you are all about, right? So you might say, well, I'm all about this, and but do you really continue to live it? Do you continue to document your journey even when you have failures? Do you continue to document your journey on the days that you're tired? Do you continue to push even when you're stuck? All those different areas of life. And so that's a huge part to all of this, is you do that. Publicly documenting your goals and your progress, it keeps you accountable to what you say you're going to do, and it keeps you motivated to follow through, because the more people and the more eyes that you have on you in this journey and in this process, the more it's harder for you to quit on yourself. And so a lot of times people quit because they don't have accountability. Well, guess what? If you're documenting your journey and you commit to documenting your journey on a regular basis, it becomes a whole lot harder to quit on yourself. And if you do quit on yourself, or if you do start to slack off, it will become very noticeable, not only to your audience, but also to you, because all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my goodness, I haven't posted in days, and I've been struggling with all these different things. And so that's a big part of it. All right. Then lastly is adapting, taking action on all these things that we've taken in so far, and then expanding your opportunities. And so how does that happen? Okay. So a couple things. This first one builds off of what we talked about a couple steps ago, finding fellowship, which is networking. You want to meet people who can help you and who you can help, right? So this is not just about meeting people just to get stuff out of them, but it's meeting people who can help you. So the more you share, the more opportunities you're going to have to do collabs with other people, potential mentors mentors, potential business partners, potential clients, all these different things. And so you start to expand your opportunities because you start to build everything out, and it really allows you, as you have defined what you are all about, it's going to attract people who are also about the same things. And it's going to allow you to just have all sorts of new opportunities come up. But if you just stay within your own little bubble, then one of the dangerous things that you have is that you don't really know, and you're maybe missing out. Maybe your best next opportunity is literally right around the corner, and it's just a matter of either typing that post up or pressing that record button or uploading that video. Maybe that's all it's really going to take, but you're not going to know until you are willing to actually do that. And why? Well, because there's multiple points here, but the last step here of adapting before we get to kind of the bonus result that you're going to get for all of this is this: you can build your brand and open monetization opportunities. So networking in terms of building connections with people, but ultimately you can build your brand and build your brand of what you're all about. Now, this isn't to say that you need to have this grandiose business plan right when you start. Okay. You're not going to inherently have a business plan right away. Maybe you've got some ideas, but it's going to take a while for all those things to work and to do all that. But what you can do is you can start to say, okay, this is the definition of what my life is all about. I'm going to build my brand. And then you can open up your monetization opportunities, because you can start to do things and say, okay, well, this is an area of my expertise. So what do I want to do? How do I want to help other people? Or maybe you're trying to document the process of starting a business, right? Your good clients could be right around the corner. Or maybe you're trying to document your process of services that you do. Maybe other businesses who would be interested in the services you have to offer will just find out about you, especially if it's not something that has to be done in person. The world is your playground here. With the internet, you never know what type of service you're offering that's going to connect with some multi-million-dollar business who's looking for something that only you can provide. I don't know what that is, and I don't know what it will be for you. But your documented journey becomes an asset that leads to sponsorships, courses, books, speaking gigs, clients, all of those sorts of things. Okay, so we do that. All right. So then why are we doing all this? Well, because the why is kind of maybe partly specific to you, but I'm going to give you the ultimate why. Okay. The broad range scaling why. And this is why we do all this, which is freedom. Okay. There's freedom for you. So we'll break this in two parts: more opportunities, financial independence. For me on this journey of getting debt free, obviously the more I can proceed in getting debt free, the more freedom I'm going to have to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. The more opportunity eventually to bring on mentors into my life. And like we were talking about, building your network and all of those things. But financial independence, clarity on your path, all these different things, that becomes a thing. You have freedom for yourself. But beyond that, and maybe even in some ways greater than that, is freedom for other people. Imagine if your journey can take to the point where you've achieved freedom for yourself, but then you in turn can help provide freedom to other people. American Walmart's, how's it going? American Walmart's is giving a great example of how another YouTube creator, Tom Grassi, is doing this. I'll go ahead and put this up on the screen. Okay, Tom Grassi's hit $700,000 for children of fallen patriots. So Tom Grassi is a football streamer, but he's doing a huge fundraiser right now on his journey to 1 million subscribers. And he's also doing it with a journey to raise $1 million for a charity as well. And so that's a perfect example. Talking exactly what we're talking about right now is Tom Grassi. He documented his journey. His whole channel is literally his journey of just posting about football to creating both the brand, serving other people, learning about content creation, growing in who he is, growing in his audience, making the changes that he needs to make. And now he has life freedom, and he's using his platform to help create freedom for other people. And so that becomes the ultimate result. And you can do this for a whole bunch of different creators. On our channel, we just kind of have a special heart for Tom Grassi because he's been a great supporter of this channel. But he's exemplifying exactly what we're talking about here, is by doing all of these things and by documenting your journey, by getting rid of the fear of starting to do these things, the fear of hopping in and I'm afraid to press record, or I don't know exactly what I'm going to say. Look, no creator, unless they were born out of that industry, but most of the people that you see as famous creators on YouTube, they're just normal everyday people who just had to start. They just had to get going. And you do that. Why? Well, because if you're doing it, you can achieve both freedom for yourself and freedom for other people. You know, when you think of that $700,000, I have no idea how the charity Children of Fallen Patriots work, but I can guarantee you that money raised is going to impact multiple families. There's multiple families that are going to be blessed and are going to have maybe a new level of freedom in their own lives because of the money that was raised through charity, and to continue to go beyond that. And so all of this works together. And this is why I would just encourage each and every one of you guys to start thinking of ways you can document your journey. It doesn't have to be on YouTube like myself or like Tom Grassi. It doesn't have to be on Facebook. You could do a TikTok. You could even just do it if you really wanted to go old school, just do it as a journal and then just kind of make a note somewhere to future generations, say, this journal can't be opened until after my death, whatever you want to do. But by documenting the journey, you get all these different things. So we went through them, but I'm just going to read through them really quick. These are the 11 benefits to documenting your journey. You create a roadmap for others. You inspire other people to start. You help others who are discouraged. You leave a legacy for your kids, your family, and your friends. You get faster feedback and avoid going off course. You track your own progress and create a personal reference manual. You build authority and credibility. You find fellowship on the journey. You provide accountability to yourself to help you stay committed. You increase your networking by meeting other people who can help you and who you can help. And you build your brand and open monetization opportunities. And what is the end result? If you're willing to do all these things, well, you do networking and you have freedom for yourself and freedom for other people. Because as you grow and as your sphere of influence grows and as you help other people, they're going to want to help you. And then that in turn will enable you to help other people and to keep building over and over and over again. So with that, I just want to encourage each and every one of you to start documenting your journey today. I know there's going to be ups and downs. There's scary parts. It's hard to get going with these things. But the more that you do it, I believe the more your freedom is going to open up. So I appreciate each and every one of you. What are some other benefits that you see for documenting your journey? Please put them down in the comments below, whether you're watching live or on replay. And we are going to be with you again soon. Thank you so much and have a great day.